March through your skyline, under midnight cover. BMF and angels, rivals hate each other. Cocaine runs deep, transactions undercover. Kidnapping, torturing, no time to rediscover. March through your skyline, under midnight cover. BMF and angels, rivals hate each other.
Rivals hate each other. What happens when those rivals want to make peace? Well, it seems like one side may be wanting peace. Let us translate here.
Les Hells seraient prêts à céder plusieurs de leurs territoires du marché des stupéfiants pour acheter la paix avec les gangs de rue.
The Hells Angels are finally willing to concede many territories with their rivals in the street gangs in order to achieve peace.
Une première en 25 ans.
A first in 25 years. Wow. Well, should I say a first in way more than 25? Remember the biker war era? That counts too. They weren't seeking peace then when they were fighting the rock machine, or even before that when they were taking over other clubs.
On en discute avec Éric Thibault qui signe un texte dans le journal avec vos collègues aussi, Marc Sandrecci puis Félix Séguin. Alors,
so this is Félix Séguin's colleague, Éric Thibault. He's my number 2 in this. Does an excellent job. These guys covered the Scopa brothers, or the Scopa. What was it, Andrea Scopa? Remember him? He's always a classic to listen to. Let's see what he says. It's going to be insightful. What's up, Chris?
on parle de céder du terrain, mais qu'est-ce qu'on veut dire par là?
So we're talking about conceding territory, but what do we mean by that?
En fait, il y a maintenant 24 ans et demi, les Hells Angels se sont assis avec des représentants du clan Rizzuto.
In fact, we should go back to about 24 and a half years ago, when the Hells Angels sat at a table to negotiate with the Rizzuto clan.
Pour s'assurer du contrôle de l'approvisionnement, de la distribution, puis des prix des stupéfiants.
In order to manage and come to an agreement on the control and distribution in regards to the prices that that the cane would be sold at in the territories.
Et également pour écarter les rock machines contre qui ils faisaient la guerre depuis 6 ans à ce moment.
And also to isolate or to remove the rock machines with which they were competing for the market.
Là, pour les écarter du marché. Alors, depuis ce temps-là, il n'y a jamais eu d'autres négociations impliquant les Hells Angels pour céder.
And hence, since those days, 24 and a half years ago, when they were conceding with the Italian mafia to share territories or even give up territories that to the mafia, there has never been another agreement such as that one.
Du territoire pour faire des concessions
to make concessions
sur le marché des stupéfiants qu'ils dominent là, de façon outrageuse depuis plus de 2 décennies.
Which the Hells Angels have been dominating the markets, he says, in a very outrageous manner for decades.
Alors, c'est ça qui est particulier. Ça pourrait être interprété comme une bonne nouvelle.
Now, this happening today with the street gangs could be seen as a good news.
Parce que c'est peut-être le premier pas vers la fin de cette guerre des stupéfiants. Là,
because, of course, it could be the first step to the end of this stupefier war.
Qui a éclaté maintenant là, depuis il y a presque 2 ans.
Which has erupted in the last almost 2 years.
Et puis, ça n'arrête pas.
And which is not ending.
On voit des incidents, des crimes, des attaques armées à chaque...
We see these incidents, these armed attacks every other week.
Principalement dans la région de Québec. Mais
principally in the Quebec City region.
C'est là que ça a commencé, dans la région de Québec.
And that's where it actually started, in the region of Quebec City.
Entre les Hells puis En fait, c'est le gang du caïd Dave Picturmel,
Between the gang of Pic-Turmel and the Hells Angels,
dont on vous a beaucoup parlé ici,
of which we spoke to you a lot about.
qui s'est attaqué aux Hells à leur,
Who's attacking the Hells Angels? Who's been attacking the Hells Angels?
à leur monopole, si
Attacking their monopoly.
on veut, et qui refuse de payer des redevances sur leurs ventes de stupéfiants.
Who were refusing to pay their tax to the Hells Angels for selling stupefiers in that territory.
Comme c'est le cas là, dans le marché là, depuis plusieurs années.
Oops, sorry about that.
Donc, les Hells, ils font une tentative là, de régler le...
Calmer le jeu un peu.
Exactement, pour en arriver à une trêve.
Hence, the Hells Angels are making another attempt to arrive at a peace treaty.
Alors là, ce qu'on a appris avec mes collègues du bureau d'enquête, c'est que
And what we have learned, me and my colleagues at our investigative bureau, you know, right now we're reading TVA, but he's talking about Félix Séguin and his team. So he says they've been investigating recently and they got news for us.
il y a des territoires qui auraient été offerts à des gangs.
There has been specific territories that have been offered to gangs by the Hells Angels, offering it to them on a silver platter.
Notamment dans la région de Québec, dans la
Notably in the Quebec City region
région de Montréal,
and the region of Montreal,
en Montérégie. On peut
in Montérégie,
penser aussi au Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean.
and Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. Remember, that one was the territory that Al Boivin used to manage for the Hells Angels, and he appropriated it to himself.
Parce qu'au Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, il y a le caïd Al Boivin.
Qui est
So
grandement
now he's talking about Al Boivin.
recherché, lui et sa conjointe. Là.
Oui,
She says, and they're hunting for him, the police, right now as we speak, with his girlfriend.
il y a une récompense qui est offerte par les autorités d'un quart de million là,
Oh, give me a sec. My bad, guys. Sorry about that.
pour sa capture. Et alors voilà, il y a plusieurs gangs qui sont impliqués là-dedans.
Hence, there are multiple gangs that are implicated in this ordeal.
On se souvient là, au mois de septembre qu'il y a un adolescent de 14 ans de Montréal qui a perdu la vie lors
And you remember a few months ago or a few weeks ago, a 14-year-old adolescent who lost his life
d'une attaque armée contre un repère des Hells Angels en
against when he went to the bunker of the Hells Angels to burn it, remember?
Beauce. Et donc, ça touche une bonne partie de la province et ça implique plusieurs gangs. Donc,
So this ordeal it touches many parts of this province and implicates various criminal groups, street gangs notably.
ça risque d'être plus compliqué que ce que les Hells avaient fait à l'été 2000 avec la mafia montréalaise. Cette fois-ci,
Hence, this deal that they're attempting to achieve may be even more complicated than the one 2.5 decades ago. Because remember, the other one was only with one group. It was with the Italian mafia. This one there's multiple street gangs in different cities, right? Not the same gangs. That's a lot of more people to pacify.
il y a plusieurs gangs qui sont impliqués. Il y a plusieurs enjeux différents dans plusieurs régions. Mais
Qu'est-ce qu'on veut dire par céder le territoire?
So what do we mean by conceding or giving up territory?
Donc, le groupe aurait le contrôle absolu sur la vente et les transactions de drogue. Il n'y aurait pas de redevance à payer.
Does that mean that those groups would have absolute control in those territories? They would be able to liquidate their stupefiers without paying the Hells Angels anything at all?
ben, on peut penser, on n'a pas encore de détails là, sur la nature exacte de ces offres-là, mais
Well, we could say so far we don't have the exact details of the nature of this offer being made by the Hells Angels.
on a des détails sur la toute première offre que les Hells Angels ont faite au BFM.
But we do have the details of the very first offer they had made to the BFM. Now, I think he's alluding to, remember we discovered, you and me together, that about 2023-ish, they were trying to negotiate with Picturmel. Remember they talked about him, about Banana Auger Hells Angels member flying to Portugal and trying to speak sense to him. And I think they said something, they had offered him a deal, you know. Remember Picturmel told him, get out of here. In fact, do it quickly, or we might just take you out right here, right now. Remember that? So I think he's talking about that time. So it was refused, okay?
De Pic-Turmel quand le conflit a commencé à l'hiver 2023.
So he says that conflict started in the winter of 2023.
Il leur offrait certains territoires, l'exclusivité de vente dans certains territoires.
So at that time, they had offered Pic-Turmel's gang exclusive rights to distribute in certain territories.
Dans la région de Québec, notamment sur la rive sud.
Notably on the south shore of Quebec City.
Certains arrondissements.
Certain neighborhoods.
De la ville de Québec.
Of Quebec City, that's the capital.
Et on les exemptait de payer la fameuse redevance, là, la fameuse taxe de...
And we had exempted them from even having to pay any taxes at all. That infamous 10% tax.
10%. Et ça, cette offre-là avait été refusée.
And that offer, my friends, had been refused.
De façon cavalière.
In a very outlandish fashion, as I told you.
Alors, il faudra voir, mais ça pourrait ressembler à ce genre d'offre-là, là, pourrait servir.
And so we will have to see what this latest offer is like, but it would logically resemble the previous one. So, what's the difference? My question. What are you're going to offer them the same thing? They already refused. What are you going to offer them? You can only offer them, I don't know, just quantity and quality. So I don't know, more territories for quantity or quality. Well, you can't make that quality better. You were saying they were going to pay no taxes at all. How could you up that? What's next? Hells Angels paying them a cut? You know what I'm saying? I think it's more territories. They're going to have to up the deal. They just refuse. You're not going to come back and offer exactly the same thing, right? So my guess is more territories, just a guess.
Un peu là, de modèle aux autres offres qui vont être faites ailleurs aux autres gangs.
And probably this model of this offer will be similarly made to other groups, other gangs in different cities. Remember, just to name one, we have Arab Power, allegedly, because remember, they allegedly sent one of their underling gangs to go send that kid to the bunker in Frampton to burn it up. So that's one group. And then recently we discovered another group, not even in any of these towns like Montreal or Quebec City. I forgot which city that was. But it was another group. It was called SBJ. If you haven't seen it, go check out that video. It's outlandish. It's an outlandish story. You need to check up on that. It's really how you say it, if you will. It's fun. It's a fun listen. You check it on the channel, you'll find it. So those are two gangs that we know for sure, outwardly named. But there's got to be more than that, guys. It can't just be two.
Avez-vous eu des échos de la part de sources policières? Comment eux perçoivent ce type d'entente? Est-ce que c'est positif pour la sécurité des Québécois et Québécoises en général?
So she's asking him, did you hear any input or opinions from the police as to how they're viewing this, say, latest offer? Are they seeing this as a positive? Are they seeing this as a negative?
Bien, c'est certain que du côté policier, ce qu'on nous dit, là, nos sources nous disent que, selon eux, c'est la seule façon qu'on va en venir à une trêve dans ce conflit-là. Il faut que...
In the opinion of the officers or police, because they got sources in there, obviously Félix Séguin and his team, they've revealed some crazy news to us that no one had before. They definitely plugged in. He's saying that their sources in the police are telling them that, according to the police, their opinion of all this, their experts are saying this is really the only hope we have to ever end this situation. This is it. This is the only way.
Les Hells fassent des concessions. Il faut qu'ils lâchent du lest un peu.
For the Hells to make a concession.
Au profit là, de leurs opposants. Et les Hells Angels, eux-mêmes, ils sont inquiets pour leur sécurité, pour la sécurité de leur famille.
And the cops are telling them that even the Hells Angels it seems that they've expressed their worries. They're afraid for their own families. we're talking about their own home families, their wife, their children, things like that. Clearly, that's what he's saying. Not their Hells Angels family only. They're literally saying the Hells Angels some Hells Angels have expressed that they're afraid for their families.
C'est ce qu'au moins un de leurs membres en règle a dit
That's what at least one of their full patch members has told the cops.
aux policiers là, récemment.
Recently.
Parce qu'on se souvient, là, il y a ce qui se passe dans cette guerre-là, ça
So what's happening in this war right here?
a un caractère un peu inédit. Là. On n'a jamais vu ça, là, des commandos de gangs.
We've never seen these groups or commandos of street gangs roaming the cities
Arriver puis kidnapper des trafiquants
and kidnapping traffickers.
à la solde des motards,
The traffickers working for the Hells Angels,
les menacer avec une arme à feu,
threatening them,
les mutiler avec
mutilating,
une arme blanche ou même avec un chalumeau.
with a fire, with a tool, or even burning them up. You remember that one?
Tout ça filmé sur vidéo.
All of this filmed on video,
Puis ensuite, les vidéos sont envoyées aux Hells Angels
and then those videos are sent to the Hells Angels
pour les
Les
intimider.
intimider.
to intimidate them.
Alors ça, ça a frappé l'imaginaire des Québécois, donc ça a frappé l'imaginaire aussi des motards.
Je me souviens.
So those events definitely hit the imagination of the public and also the imagination of the Hells Angels.
Très bien, les images m'avaient donné mal au cœur à quel point
Ouais.
c'était difficile. Éric Thibault, super travail.
Good. There you go. And let's check what they have in here. There's going to be details, I bet. I want to see who wrote it. I can't see the names here, but let's go for it. See what details we can get. Yeah, this is what he just said. So this is an actual picture on the 3rd of 5th May in Saint-Denis de Brompton when they had their first run. You know that. Okay, so refused by Picturmel. But all the parties are still far from agreeing right now, especially the gang that's at the origin of this war. Last winter, BFM directed by the young Picturmel here, had coldly rejected the first attempt by the Hells Angels. In February 2023, Mario Banana Auger, an influential member of the Hells Angels of the Quebec chapter since 1998, flew to Europe, where Picturmel is currently hiding from the Quebec police, in order to go make a proposition for him. According to our sources, the offer of the bikers included, nice, now we have details, the control of the stupefier market. Here's the sectors, guys. This is very important for us. Note this in your minds. This is the most important part of this video. According to our sources, the bikers offered him the control of the stupefier market in the sectors of Charlebourg, which is, I guess, a neighborhood or an area of Quebec City, a district, and also the territory of Lévis in the South Shore. So that's like the, Montreal has their own South Shore, so be careful when I say South Shore. We're talking about South Shore of Quebec. So us, it's like Longueuil, Brossard, I forget the other names. There's like maybe one or two other names. Over there, their South Shore is Lévis. Very important. If you've watched our channel, we constantly remind you, we term this the red zone over here. So when we say red zone in the future, remember, we're talking about Charlebourg, Lévis, and probably a few others. But these are the territories, huh? No surprise. That's where all the action was. That's where they were kidnapping people. These are the places where we're getting all those crazy news happening, So they offered him Charlebourg and Lévis. An exemption to pay the Hells Angels a tax of 10% on the sales of stupefiers, commonly called a tax, that the bikers were imposing to all traffickers in the underworld since at least 2015, but many gangs are refusing to pay it now, So So they were getting this for the longest time. Man, they're saying 2015, but probably that's the latest deal. I don't think it was just in 2015. I highly doubt it. Do you really think during Mambouche's era this was not happening? Really? Do you really think so? It all started only 9 years ago. No chance. Zero chance. It's the opposite. They were paying it, and it's going down now. Little by little, less people have been paying it and going rogue, and eventually it culminated 2 years ago. Now look at this one. This is a very interesting development. Something that we've never maybe we read it, but we didn't take time to appreciate. Maybe, or we didn't read this at all. This is, let's say, new for us. They're willing, it says. They're going to get the consent of the Hells Angels to, quote, forget a theft or a presumed alleged theft of 28 kilos of cane, a value totaling $1.5 million, committed against them in the beginning of 2023. Note, that's also the timeline where they're saying that this recent... that's where the BFM separated from the Hells Angels' pipeline. Right there, right when they said that this supposed war started. So as soon as this war started, around that time, they decided, well, we're going to rob you guys now too. We're going to make your life a living hell. So there you go. Attributed to Pic Turmel's clan. So imagine that. Stealing from the mighty Hells Angels. They've been playing with the Hells Angels these last 2 years. And how could I put this? Imagine that. The Hells Angels got robbed. Nowhere you would have ever believed in the last 2 decades I would have been able to tell you this story right now. That you can, and I'm not saying to egg on anybody. I'm just reading it as it is. It's shocking. It's shocking. But the Hells Angels are willing to forgive 28 kilos of cane that they were robbed, basically. 28 kilos that were robbed. I remember in the mid-90s when the 67 Crip gangsters, what was his name? Du Carmel, the gang boss, the legendary figure, who remember, maybe you don't remember. I remember him and his friends allegedly had. This is during the biker war era. When the Hells Angels were the most ruthless, it was a different regime, different people inside of it, notably Maurice Mambouche and all of them. Maybe it was a tiny bit before that. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on this, but it was in the 90s for sure. And they robbed cash that belonged to the Hells Angels, a cache of cane, a lot of it. And do you think the Hells Angels forgave him for that? I don't think so. I believe he had to pay him back. It didn't go unpunished. It had to be paid back at the very least. Now they're actually saying, you know what? After all you did to us, or you know what? We don't dare to even ask you to pay us back. We're gonna forgive this. We're gonna forget this. Look how far we are today, man. Absolutely crazy. You would have never guessed this in a million years. It would happen. Now, so this is the latest offer. Let me just double check. No. This was the offer in February 2023. This was last year, the first offer. So you're going to control Lévis now. You're going to control Charlesbourg. You're going to make all the money you want. You don't buy from us. And even if you buy from someone else, you don't pay us a cut. Everyone else does, but you won't. You'll be exempt. Forget it. And that 28 keys of cane you robbed us? Yeah, you know what? We don't want any trouble, man. Just keep it. Keep those $1.5 million you probably made from that. That was what was offered, allegedly, by Mario Banan Auger and his team. And Turmel had outlandishly answered him while laughing in the face of Auger, and then advising him to get out right now because if he did not want to end up in, quote, this is the words, in pieces. There you go. That's him right there. This is a picture in 2020, by the way. Now, a little bit after his return, Auger de Hells Angels from the Quebec chapter, himself, oh my God, I remember this. We heard about this. So shortly after his return, guys, he escaped an attempted kidnapping. The BFM then tried to kidnap him. They waited for him to come to Quebec, and then he got his goons to try to kidnap him. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. $250,000 for the gang boss. Since those incidents, we ignore if the Hells Angels made a new offer to Picturmel, neither to one of their allies, Alboivin. Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? We just heard something's not right between they're not concording with the what we just heard here. He said the opposite. He said a new offer was made recently, and he doesn't have the details. So that doesn't make sense. But I'd rather take Thibault's word for it. Now it says, this trafficker of 34 years old, 4 years of age, we're talking about Alboivin right here, himself is also disputing for the territory of Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, his own hometown. That we know. They're hiding. Of course, the authorities are offering a record $250,000. Remember, it was $100K. They increased it to $250,000. There you go. He can't come back to his hometown. His face is all plastered all over the place. Now, remember when he talked about the Rizuros having to deal with the Hells Angels in 24 years ago? Just a detail, it says, the meeting on the 21st of June 2000 in a restaurant in Laval. The Hells Angels Nomad chapter met with representatives of the dominant clan in the Mafia, Montreal Mafia, in order to conclude a deal, in order to distribute territories, and to set the price of cane in Montreal. Here's a good detail. You see, the bikers would have agreed to allow the Montreal Mafia to totally control certain territories. Note this for your books, my friend. Very, very important. So they didn't need to pay the Hells Angels anything. This type of deal happened once before. And what was the territories that they did not have to pay anything? They were lords over their own kingdom, the Montreal Mafia. Note this. Saint-Léonard, Antique, and Rivière-des-Prairies, RDP. There you go, man. So if you need to say what's their bastion, you got the names right here, friend. But that was 2.5 decades ago. Has it changed or has it not? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Maybe we can cross-check this through time. A veteran, what is this? A veteran of the admitted, what is it? A vétéran porte? Yeah, he says there's a veteran that admitted to the police that he was worried. A veteran of Hells Angels was saying that he was worried for his children and his family. Yeah, so it's what we just heard already, man. I'm just trying to avoid rereading everything. Yeah, it's surprising because they say, look, these guys are afraid. They're trying to negotiate. It's the same band that had chased the freaking powerful outlaws from the province of Quebec. You know, no easy feat whatsoever. Chased out a big biker, like what was one of the biggest biker clubs in North America at the time, the Outlaws. You know, in the 80s. The Hells Angels then they also tried to kick out the Rock Machine, and there was a really outlandish war at that time. Crazy, man. Yeah. All right. Let's see if it's just a repeat, we can skip this. Yeah, you remember when they got the guy, when they were doing kidnappings and stuff earlier this year, right? And and the police were, remember, this guy was, I think he was trying to get parole and or conditional liberation. No, but maybe he was on the streets, and then the cops were too afraid that leaving him out would be dangerous. I don't know. They decided to keep him, basically. And allegedly they're saying that in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, he should be the controller of that territory. He should be making the money, basically. Him, Hells Angels, Bernard Plourde. Now, the life of Plourde would be threatened by the clan of traffickers of Alboivin, who's utilizing the same techniques of intimidation against the BFM. All right, so yeah, they're two different clans basically, but they work together. Yeah, this is the repeat. We don't need to repeat this. Yeah, it's talking about the recent events, the kid and all that. That's it, guys. That's it. Can keep it short here. And Adam Rogers, I got your email, man. I replied, bro. I replied, says, bro, I'm honestly so depressed. I'll never get to watch. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. You're the only one, bro. That's the thing, man. You're the only one, It makes me feel bad that I didn't know, man. I had no clue until I saw your email, that is. Bro, I'm honestly so depressed. I'll never get to watch so many of those amazing videos. Please tell me you still have them somewhere and didn't you remove them forever? Yeah, they're removed forever, bud. I'm sorry, man. They're definitely removed forever. But if I saw your email before, I would have kept it. But I'll try to keep them for you, dude. It's just that, you always make me have to explain this on the channel, bud. Try to keep it between emails so that I don't annoy the other people here. Not you, me. Because then I have to go on a whole explanation. And it's always sad shit. Because look, all right, but I'm gonna do it. It's stronger than me. I got all those videos and I checked the performance and it says 0 views in the last 90 days. 0. And it's taking space there, and some of them are not directly related to what we're doing now, They're not related to like the news events here. So my thing was, they come on the channel, they see like 300, 400 videos. There wasn't 300, 400. I'm just trying to explain, make you real to see the picture. There's like 300, 400 videos there. And they're trying to say, frick, which one do I watch? And gonna get dizzy. They're gonna get dizzy. And like, what's easier? You come here, you have 400 of them. You see they're 1 hour long. And you get discouraged. You're like, which one do I start with? So by removing the ones that are not like the major stories I see people are the most interested in, but definitely some of them, they got barely any views too, but they're too important to understand the current events. Like I couldn't remove those because, man, like if you really want to understand, you have to watch those. So I had to make the pick, and the ones that, like, for example, there was one, René Charlebois, we did 2 years ago, I love that one, bro, I do. Nobody was watching it, but watching the René Charlebois one, it's cluttering space, and it's confusing people, and then they might skip out on watching anything at all. But the René Charlebois one would have nothing to do with what we have going on right now. But for a student of the game like you and me, you'd be like, wait, you'd go check that out and you'd find your own lessons from it, You'd clearly be able to look at, it's like image, it's like a picture. You're watching a picture in history 2 decades ago or a decade and a half ago, and you'll be able to derive your own lessons from that, And then you'll appreciate what we're doing here more. But not everyone's like that, Most people are not like that, That's why they were like, a video like that was getting 0 views, Then you have other videos that I spent, last video I said 20 hours to make that video for you, It would not take me 20 hours. I messed up telling you 20. It would not take 20. It would take a lot more than that. It would reach minimum 60, 70 hours, maybe 100 or 120, to do that. Because I'm a one-man person, and the video editing, all of that together, it's slow, I don't have the fastest computer either. You had to render it, and then it was a nightmare to make those, So I would spend all those times doing it, dude. And then I checked up video performance, and it still saddens me, There's some of my best work, although I was still a noob, I was still learning. You know, sometimes you do stuff, you learn while you're doing it. So those videos, I was learning while I was doing them, you know? They're not professional looking. They, you know what I mean? They're not like some other channels, you know, or you know what I'm trying to say? But there are stuff that I wish people would. Those are the ones that I really wish people watched, you know. But then I look at the video performance, and it says, and I spent like 80 hours on it, and it got 1,200 views. That 1,200 views it happened a year and a half ago, bro. Since then, nothing. You know, nothing at all. And those are the ones I poured my heart and soul to. So. You know, it made me sad. You know, it made me sad. But the ones with the storytelling ones, I did not delete. I would never delete that. You know, to be honest with you, I did delete it, but it's only because it got demonetized. Literally, it got demonetized. You know, that's why I was like, frick, man, I remove it. What's the point? You know, and some of them I saw like too many big flaws for me, you know, for how I would do them now. I would do them a lot better, you know. But I was learning and looking back now, you know, it's only when you look back through time, you're older, more mature, and you realize some stuff that you did. I made some mistakes. Sometimes it was even with the message, you know. Maybe, you know, some of my documentaries, it was not time to fool around, you know. It was not time to make jokes, you know. But what do you have it? You know, your boy's an honest guy. You know, I was making them. I was laughing and giggling while I was making them. It was always to my pleasure. I shouldn't have done that. That triggered the algorithm. It offended the algorithm, and it killed my channel. And those jokes I was making inside of those documentaries, you know. But yeah, man, I wish I could do those, but it's a waste, you know. And then, like I told you, like. What's the point of having 500 videos on your channel, you know, and you have 3,000 subscribers, and those 500 videos, 400 of them are getting 0 views? Do I leave them up for one single person and clutter the entire channel when the 90%, the 99% will never watch them? The 99%, I'm actually... They're coming on the channel. They see all of that, and it confuses them more. You know, maybe by removing them, I'm confusing them less, and I'm funneling them to watch the few videos that are remaining. Sort of like forcing them to see those that I know that more people appreciated. You see what I'm saying? Or do I confuse the 99 and I leave one up just for one person, Adam Rogers? You know, and I'll do that for you, bud. You know. I'll definitely do that for you, dude. I'll put it as a member, you know, in the membership section, so maybe it'll disappear from the channel, like they won't see it and it won't clutter. So you made me realize that today. I'll probably try to do that, bud. But I'm really sorry, bud, you know. But yeah, man, it's really cool to see someone enthusiastic. I appreciate that, man. See someone enthusiastic about this stuff, you know. You're really good at this, you know. You're someone who's trying to figure all this out. You're really not joking, you know. You're really gonna understand things and see things that the majority will never see. You know, they'll never get the entire picture. You know, you will, because you're looking for it. You're not trying to skip a beat. That's crazy awesome. Let me just catch up to other comments. Chris Hensley, Sleeping Joe, Couscous, what's up, bud? Sleeping Joe, how are you? Chris Hensley, what's up? Jerome Roberts, what's up, pal? Casino Kid, Mr. Green Thumb Ottawa, what up, pal? EMB1, salute, brother. Adam says, because I'm an Anglo, now I'll never know the stories. Damn, man. Don't be depressed over that, bud. Do not be depressed over that, you know. There's nothing to... It's not going to take away... It shouldn't take away from your happiness, bud, you know. The subject matter, I mean. Subject matter. Not having the subject matter, you know. But I'm sorry, dude. I'll remember that, dude. I'll remember you, dude, and I'll do it. I'll put them. I'll put when it the next time if it happen when it happens whenever it happens. I'll put it. I'll make it member for you, dude. AMB1 says Quebec Hells Angels still the strongest organized crime group, but the attacks just not going to be able to enforce anymore without war. Too much hassle. it's not clutter. They were in playlist. It's better to have something than nothing, or at least put it in members. Cause I'm an Anglo bro. I'll never know the stories. Oh shit! Did I read that twice? My bad. Sometimes I reread them back by accident. So you still have the vids? No, I don't have the vids, bud. Sorry, my man. It's deleted, It's definitely gone. It's gone. Or I would make them available, now that I read it. Yes, for sure I would have done it, but for you, for sure. Man, it's really great to have someone appreciate like this, Adam, but it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But if you guys... I can't expect all you guys to watch all those, say, podcast ones, translating the news, all those. But the ones that I'm highly suggesting or even pushing you to watch is the storytelling ones. Watch the storytelling ones. Do it. You've been missing out, Like Gregory Woolley one. The one with Gregory Woolley on the thumbnail called... there's a thumbnail. On the thumbnail it says Secret Weapons. Or Rock Machine versus Hells Angels. You missed out on that one. Or my personal favorite that I made, the one that I like the most, and it's demonetized, by the way. But it hurt way too damn bad to remove that one. But that's my absolute favorite. It's the one with the dark circle. Check the thumbnail, the one with the dark circle. I forgot the title. That is my absolute favorite. I love that one. I think I killed it, for my own tastes. I'm not embarrassed of that one. And the other one would be the one where there's the face of Gregory Woolley and Charles Lebois. That's another one that I'm really proud of. That one more people watched it. But the first one I told you about has like 1,000 views. All you guys there. I'm like, damn, man, you guys missed out on the good stuff, man. But yeah, I get it. I get it. It's just a game of chance to people. That's what I meant. If you come on my channel, you see 170 videos. It's easy to miss those. You might click on something else first, but the ones that I really want you to watch, you had too many choices. You skipped over that one. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's why I removed them. Remove the choice and try to declutter it. And like and not every news, all of it, you're gonna want to go back 3 years later to watch. If there's a video where it's only criminal fires happening, we don't have the names of suspects, we don't have a revelation, and it's only was fire after fire after fire. If you were following when I release the videos fresh, new, people watch it. But then after 6-7 months, it's gone. No one's gonna go click and watch that video, bro. It's just cluttering space, They don't have time for that. They want to go to the good stuff, the ones with the names, faces, and things like that, such as today's news. So the ones that is just going to be fires and a car burning and nothing else except that, well, we need to make note of that. And the ones, and when it's freshly released, people are watching that. But then after 6 months, it's just taking space, But that's my way of seeing it. It says, how can I know these stories? It's because you translated so much that I won't be able to understand. Any advice? Well, you didn't really, how could I tell you? The majority of the ones deleted, man, were just, were the extra stuff. It's not the historical, how could I explain? It's these fires that happen and things like that, right? But not the, how can I say, Adam Rogers, you are not missing out on the core. The core stuff, you're not missing out on. You're not missing out on the core stuff. Don't worry like that, dude, Like, you understand what I'm saying? You all the major events, the big storylines, you've seen them all, bro. I guarantee you've seen them. The Charles Lebois one, it's when he was under arrest in a prison and the cops were interrogating him. They interrogated René Charles Lebois. And he was depressed in prison. I don't remember exactly what was the nature of the conversation. All it was is me translating the conversation he was having with the cops. It was actually funny, He's not trying to be funny. He's an unintentionally funny person. because he's so rugged and so old school, and he's the old style Quebecer, you know, not much of a talker, you know, big thick accent, and outlaw to the bones, you know. It's just simpleton. He's also a simpleton in many ways, you know. He has that old school simpleton Quebecer, you know. Makes me laugh, you know. And not a very nice guy, you know. But it was just the conversation he was having with the cops that was translated. But then, you know, he escaped, and then he escaped prison. You guys remember that? I don't remember how, but he escaped prison. Was it by helicopter? I can't remember. All I know is he escaped prison, and he got he had a chalet, and he went to hide in that chalet. And I believe he offed himself in that chalet because the cops were honing in on him. You know, there was a manhunt for him. There was no way he was gonna get away with it. But he offed himself after that. That's the gist of what happened. No, Scopa files are there, man. The Scopa files are not deleted. They should still be there, man. You should still be able to find them. They're there, man. I would never delete that one. No way. You know, translating that one, it took a lot of freaking time, and you cannot miss that one. People cannot miss that one. It should be there. Maybe it's a bug, but no way. I'm gonna delete that one. It's too essential for someone because I will constantly be referring to that. You know, it's too essential. So. Yes, the Dark Circle one, you know? I love that one, man. Anyways, guys. Yeah, they're there, right? Will Hildebrand says they're there, you know? They should be there. I wouldn't touch that. People need to... That's what I meant. Those are the ones people need to watch it no matter what. Like, if they didn't, they're going to go back to it and watch it, hopefully. Anyways, guys, going to call it a night. Well, man, we have a good people here hanging out, you know, we're talking to each other. It's just, I always say, you know, at night, you know what, I just got home like 30 minutes ago, you know, and I just, and on when it's like Tuesday night or Monday night, guys, I just wanted to record a quick article. You know, I didn't choose a couple of them. I chose only one. I just wanted to record a quick article and then log off, you know, and log off undisturbed, you know. Not feel like I was a jerk to somebody, you know. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I just want to come in at night, record the thing, you know, and then log off and sleep with my peace of mind, bro, you know. Not feel like I did something evil. But for the last two recordings, it's been like this, man. But I don't mind. But if it's Friday night or Saturday night, you guys bring it like you want, you know. Bring it like you want, you know. But during the week, I just want to slide in, slide out, and then go back, sleep, repeat what I got to do, you know. And you know how it is. If I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours here, as soon as I hang up, I don't want to go to sleep right away, bud. Not after being disturbed. I can't go to sleep after that, man. I need to change my mind, my man. But yeah, the worst time is at night, at the Monday to Friday at night, you know. That's the worst time. It's all good, man. But yeah, I'm the type of guy, when I finish work, even if I finished at midnight, I cannot come at midnight, go to sleep. I don't know how people do that. They go to sleep immediately. Me, I need to do something at home after that, and at least for like 2-3 hours, you know. I don't care what time I come home. I need to be awake for 2-3 hours after that, or I feel like I have no life. So for 2-3 hours, what I try to do is slip something in here with you guys, you know. And my biggest worry when I do this is that this would happen, you know, that I have to leave this stream a little bit disturbed, you know, and then try to, and then I would just say, I spent the whole, instead of spending 30, I spent an hour and a half, you know, and now I have less time, and I'm supposed to go to bed now, you know, but no, not yet. But you feel me, man. That 1 hour and a half left is not good enough, but since I don't blaze the MJ anymore, you know, I told you guys I stopped blazing was it February 21st? I haven't touched it once. Unfortunately, I've been blazing cigarettes again. That's a big problem, you know. And yeah, I think one of you guys, or you guys were here when I think I had a heart attack. I on live with you guys once, you know. Sometimes when I do this with you, I put a little bit too much strain on my heart, I feel. You know, I'm not kidding. I don't know why it's like this, but I feel a strain on my heart when I'm speaking to you. I don't know. Maybe I push it too much. I don't know why I'm like this. But no, I'm not a. I don't have a bad heart, or I don't have a heart that I know. I don't have a heart condition that I know of. I go jogging, I do cardio, but for some reason, I think it's the cigarettes. I smoke too much cigarettes, and it's affecting my heart. And then sometimes almost every stream I end with you guys. When I end this, I can feel my heart is completely tight. I don't know why. I have this uncomfort in my heart, and I've had what I think was a heart attack before, not just live on air. It happened before with 2-3 years, no, 4 or 5 years ago. It was really bad, man. But anyways, it's all good. I don't know why I'm sharing that. Have a good night, boys. Enjoy your evening, man. God bless. Shout out to Chris Hinsley, Sleeping Joe, Couscous, Jerome Roberts, Casino Kid, Mr. Green Thumb, Adam Rogers, EMB1, Chris Hinsley. I said that right. Will Hildebrand. I'm almost going to forget Will Hildebrand. Mr. J. Did I say Sleeping Joe? Man, I'm bad. Yeah, and Sleeping Joe. And also, we got, 40 other people here? You too, pal. You too, my friend. You don't need to say anything. In fact, I appreciate when people don't say anything too. Because you could say a bunch of stuff. One thing that I don't appreciate at all is the nitpickers. Nitpicking what I do. Try to find the flaw. Trying to point out this mistake. I read 6.5 instead of 7 hours, or things like that. I don't need that shit. But I really don't need that shit. So, yeah. I just want to come here, relax, talk to a few guys, have a joke, and log off, basically. Great. Have a great night, guys. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you to all of you. And what can I say, man? What can I say? Let's keep this going.